Nestled at the edge of a desolate town stood an imposing structure, the Forgotten Manor. Abandoned for decades, its grandeur now faded into a haunting silhouette against the moonlit sky. Locals whispered of chilling apparitions and ghostly wails that echoed through its dilapidated halls. The townsfolk, too afraid to approach, dubbed it the Manor of Souls, where the line between the living and the dead blurred. Enter Emily Harper, an intrepid paranormal investigator drawn to the allure of the Manor of Souls. Armed with an arsenal of ghost-hunting equipment and fueled by an insatiable curiosity, Emily believed the Forgotten Manor held the key to unlocking mysteries that transcended the veil between the living and the dead. As she approached the foreboding gates, the air grew colder, and the distant howl of a lonesome wind set an ominous tone. Once inside the manor, Emily felt an otherworldly presence, a chorus of whispered shadows that danced along the walls. She navigated the dimly lit corridors, her flashlight flickering, as if guided by unseen hands. The manor seemed to come alive with a spectral energy, each creak and groan telling tales of the past. Unseen eyes watched Emily's every move, and the atmosphere thickened with an unsettling tension. In the grand ballroom, Emily witnessed haunting apparitions, figures from a bygone era locked in a spectral waltz. The ghostly dancers moved with an ethereal grace, their faces frozen in expressions of sorrow and despair. Emily's heart raced as she realized the tragic tales etched into the very fabric of the manor. The air grew heavy with the weight of unresolved histories, and Emily felt an inexplicable connection to the tortured souls trapped within. As Emily delved deeper, the manor's ghostly inhabitants toyed with her senses. Candles flickered in unseen breezes, casting shifting shadows that played tricks on her mind. Eerie whispers surrounded her, revealing fragmented secrets of love and betrayal. The walls seemed to pulse with a spectral heartbeat, and Emily questioned her sanity as the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred further. In the manor's forgotten library, Emily encountered a malevolent presence. Books flew off shelves, and an icy wind whispered ancient incantations. A guttural growl echoed through the room, and Emily sensed a darkness that surpassed the sorrows of lost souls. The malevolent force seemed intent on driving her away, a warning to abandon the pursuit of long-buried secrets. Undeterred, Emily unearthed a series of forgotten diaries, hidden within the manor's decaying chambers. The yellowed pages chronicled tales of forbidden love, betrayal, and a tragic fire that claimed the lives of the manor's former residents. The more Emily learned, the more the ghostly apparitions intensified, their collective grief manifesting in an ethereal crescendo. Determined to bring peace to the tortured souls, Emily organized a seance in the heart of the manor. She gathered artifacts from the past, a locket, a tattered letter, and a charred piece of wood salvaged from the fire. As the seance began, the temperature plummeted and the air crackled with energy. The spirits, summoned from the depths of the supernatural, made their presence known. Through the seance, the spirits' voices resonated with heart-wrenching tales of love torn asunder and lives lost in the fiery embrace of tragedy. Emily, a conduit between the living and the dead, felt their pain and sought to offer solace. Yet, a malevolent force within the manor resisted the cathartic release, clinging to the darkness that had festered for generations. As Emily delved into the heart of the malevolence, she discovered a tormented spirit, a vengeful force that refused to let go of the anguish that bound it to the manor. The entity, fueled by a thirst for retribution, lashed out at Emily, its spectral form contorting with rage. The atmosphere crackled with a sinister energy as the confrontation between the living and the malevolent dead reached its climax. Undeterred by the malevolent force, Emily delved into the manor's history, uncovering a binding ritual that shackled the vengeful spirit to the mortal realm. The ritual, performed in the throes of desperation, had inadvertently trapped the entity in a never-ending cycle of torment. Armed with newfound knowledge, Emily embarked on a perilous journey to break the spectral chains that bound the vengeful force to the manor. In the manor's secret chamber, Emily discovered cursed relics tied to the binding ritual: a tattered veil worn by a grieving widow, a charred piece of wood from the fire, and a locket that once held the image of a lost love. Each relic pulsated with an ominous energy, and Emily understood that dismantling the ritual required confronting the tragedies that had spawned the malevolent force. Armed with the relics, Emily orchestrated a ghostly reenactment of the tragic events that had sealed the vengeful spirit's fate. The manor quivered as the past and present collided, and ghostly apparitions enacted the ill-fated love story that had birthed the malevolence. Emily, a spectral observer, intervened in the events, unraveling the twisted threads of sorrow that had woven a tapestry of despair. As the reenactment unfolded, Emily reached the breaking point of the binding ritual. The vengeful spirit, trapped in a vortex of memories and anguish, confronted the truth that had eluded it for decades. The manor trembled as the spectral chains that bound the entity began to shatter, and the malevolent force writhed in a maelstrom of conflicting emotions: anger, sorrow, and finally, acceptance. With a triumphant surge, Emily shattered the final remnants of the binding ritual. The malevolent force, its spectral form dissipating like smoke in the wind, let out a haunting wail that echoed through the manor's desolate halls. As the last vestiges of darkness vanished, a serene calm settled over the once haunted abode, and the manor seemed to exhale a sigh of relief. In the aftermath of the vanishing malevolence, the ghostly apparitions within the manor began to fade. The tortured souls, now unburdened by the chains of the binding ritual, found solace in the ethereal embrace of departure. The grand ballroom, once a stage for spectral waltzes, grew silent, and the ghostly echoes that had haunted the corridors dwindled into whispers carried away by the wind. As the days passed, the forgotten manor underwent a transformation. The once desolate abode, now free from the shackles of malevolence, exuded a tranquil aura. Locals, cautiously drawn back to the manor, marveled at the newfound serenity that replaced the spectral unease. Emily, having unraveled the mysteries that bound the living and the dead, left the town with a sense of fulfillment and closure. The tale of Emily's encounter with the forgotten manor became woven into the fabric of local folklore. The townsfolk, once afraid to approach the haunted abode, now regarded it with a mixture of reverence and awe. The legacy of the manor, though haunted by tragedy, echoed with the triumph of resilience and the possibility of finding peace beyond the veil of the supernatural. Though the malevolence had lifted, a lingering presence remained within the walls of the forgotten manor. Residents reported a subtle feeling of being watched, and occasional shadows flickered in the corners of rooms. The town, though grateful for the newfound peace, couldn't entirely shake the sense that the manor held secrets not entirely laid to rest. As weeks passed, a peculiar occurrence unfolded. The townsfolk, passing by the manor at dusk, glimpsed an ethereal figure standing in the uppermost window, a silhouette that seemed to be watching over the town with a benevolent gaze. Speculation spread about the identity of this unseen guardian, with some whispering that it was the spirit of a long-lost caretaker or a guardian angel protecting the town from malevolent forces. Residents began reporting ominous dreams, visions of a bygone era, echoing the tragedies that had unfolded within the manor's walls. The dreams felt like a spectral tapestry, weaving together the threads of sorrow and redemption. Some embraced these dreams as a means of connecting with the past, while others feared they were a forewarning of an unresolved darkness that still clung to the town. News of the lingering mystery surrounding the manor reached the ears of renowned paranormal investigator Samuel Carter. Intrigued by the town's history, he decided to delve into the spectral enigmas that continue to shroud the forgotten manor. Samuel's arrival stirred a mix of anticipation and unease among the townsfolk, who wondered if the malevolence had truly been banished, or if it lurked in the shadows, awaiting another reckoning. Samuel's investigation revealed intricacies not previously explored. He uncovered forgotten documents and journals, delving into the lives of the manor's former residents. As he pieced together the unraveling threads of the past, A complex narrative emerged, one entwined with forbidden love, betrayal, and an ancient curse that transcended generations. In the midst of Samuel's investigation, an unforeseen malevolent force began to stir. Shadows lengthened, and spectral echoes returned with an unsettling intensity. The town, which had begun to recover from its haunted history, once again found itself ensnared in a supernatural web. Samuel, undeterred by the ominous turn of events, pressed on, determined to uncover the truth that lay hidden beneath the manor's facade. As Samuel delved deeper, he experienced ethereal whispers that seemed to guide, or misguide, his path. The spectral voices spoke in riddles, hinting at truths obscured by time. The townsfolk, increasingly on edge, couldn't shake the feeling that the malevolence, once thought banished, was orchestrating a resurgence that threatened to plunge Raven's Hollow into a new era of spectral unrest. Samuel's investigation led him to unearth ancient artifacts, each holding a piece of the manor's troubled past. A mysterious amulet, a faded portrait, and a weathered diary became focal points in his quest for understanding. However, as he delved into the significance of these relics, the malevolent force within the manor seemed to react, intensifying its grip on the town and Samuel himself. The artifacts, once dormant, radiated an otherworldly energy that twisted the fates of those who possessed them. Dreams grew more ominous, and shadows clung to the edges of reality. The town, ensnared in a web of tangled fates, teetered on the precipice of a new supernatural reckoning. Samuel, wrestling with the malevolent force, questioned whether the pursuit of the manor's secrets had inadvertently unleashed a darkness that sought retribution. As the malevolent force gained strength, reality fractured within the town. Unseen hands seemed to manipulate the fabric of existence, and Raven's Hollow became a surreal landscape where the living and the dead coexisted in an uneasy dance. Samuel, grappling with the shifting realities, faced the daunting task of unraveling the mysteries that bound the manor to the supernatural forces that defied conventional understanding. With each passing day, the haunting reckoning intensified. The town of Raven's Hollow found itself trapped in a nightmarish tapestry woven by the malevolent force. The streets echoed with ghostly whispers, and ethereal apparitions manifested in broad daylight. Samuel, burdened by the weight of his investigations, sought allies among the townsfolk, who once again found themselves entangled in a spectral web. As the malevolence continued to tighten its grip, Samuel discovered an ancient ritual, a desperate attempt by the manor's former residents to contain the supernatural forces that had taken root within its walls. The ritual, etched in long-forgotten manuscripts, spoke of a ceremony that could either seal the malevolent force or unleash a cataclysmic wave of spectral energy. Faced with limited options, Samuel rallied the townsfolk to partake in the ritual, hoping to tip the balance in favor of salvation. The night of the ritual arrived, and Raven's Hollow transformed into an otherworldly realm. Samuel and the townsfolk, clad in ritualistic attire, gathered in the heart of the manor. The air crackled with supernatural energy as they began the ancient incantations, their voices resonating with the echoes of the past. The veil between worlds wavered, and the malevolent force, sensing the imminent challenge, retaliated with an onslaught of spectral manifestations. As the ritual reached its climax, an ethereal confrontation unfolded. Samuel faced the malevolent force in a battle of wills and ancient magic. Spectral tendrils lashed out, and the very foundations of the manor quivered with the cosmic struggle between the living and the dead. The townsfolk, bound by a shared destiny, channeled their collective energy into the ritual, their fates intertwined with the outcome of the supernatural clash. In the midst of the ethereal confrontation, the realms shattered like fragile glass. Samuel glimpsed fragments of alternate realities, each one a distorted reflection of the town's haunted history. The malevolent force, torn between vengeance and redemption, faced a choice that could tip the balance toward either eternal darkness or a glimmer of ethereal salvation. As the ritual reached its zenith, a cacophony of resonating echoes enveloped the manor. The malevolent force, unable to withstand the combined might of the townsfolk and the ancient incantations, began to dissipate. Spectral energies clashed, and the fractured realities converged into a singular, pulsating realm. The air grew heavy with anticipation, and the townsfolk held their breath, unsure whether they had sealed the malevolence or unleashed a new era of supernatural uncertainty. In the aftermath of the ritual, the once haunted manor stood silent. The malevolent force, banished or transformed, left behind an eerie calm. Samuel, exhausted but determined, surveyed the town. Raven's Hollow, now free from the shackles of the malevolence, faced uncharted horizons. The townsfolk, having confronted the supernatural forces that had ensnared them twice before, wondered whether the ethereal reckoning had finally come to an end, or if the shadows of the past would continue to cast their haunting echoes over the town. Months passed, and Raven's Hollow experienced an uneasy peace. The townsfolk, scared by the haunting reckonings of the past, tried to resume normalcy. Yet beneath the surface, the echoes of resurgence lingered. Dreams continued to be haunted by spectral visions, and whispers of the malevolence resurfaced in hushed conversations. Samuel, haunted by the mysteries that eluded complete unraveling, couldn't shake the feeling that the supernatural forces were regathering strength. Strange occurrences began to unfold once again. Unseen hands rearranged objects in homes, and spectral apparitions appeared on the outskirts of town. Locals reported feeling an otherworldly presence, a subtle reminder that the supernatural forces, though subdued, had not entirely relinquished their hold on Raven's Hollow. Samuel, sensing the subtle intrusions, resumed his investigations, determined to uncover the source of the renewed disturbances. As Samuel delved into the mysteries, he discovered cryptic messages scattered throughout the town. Ancient symbols etched on walls, whispered incantations carried by the wind, and eerie visions that seemed to beckon him toward an unknown destination. The messages hinted at a deeper layer of the supernatural enigma, a realm beyond the boundaries of Raven's Hollow that held the key to understanding the malevolence's enduring legacy. Guided by the cryptic messages, Samuel unearthed a forgotten chamber beneath the manor, a portal to a dimension that transcended the known realms. The air shimmered with an otherworldly energy as the portal unveiled itself, and a gateway to the unknown beckoned Samuel to step into the abyss. The townsfolk, torn between curiosity and trepidation, watched as their paranormal investigator ventured into the uncharted territory, his fate entwined with the mysteries that awaited beyond. As Samuel crossed the threshold of the portal, he found himself in an ethereal expanse, a dimension where the laws of reality and the supernatural intertwined. Spectral landscapes unfolded before him, and echoes of the town's haunted history reverberated through the boundless void. Samuel, now an interloper in the supernatural tapestry, faced the challenge of navigating the ethereal expanse to uncover the truths that eluded the grasp of the living. In the ethereal expanse, Samuel encountered enigmatic guardians, ethereal beings tasked with safeguarding the delicate balance between worlds. They spoke in riddles, their voices resonating with ancient wisdom. The guardians revealed that the malevolence, once banished from Raven's Hollow, sought to breach the veil between dimensions, using the town as a focal point for supernatural convergence. Samuel, now a guardian in his own right, faced the daunting task of preventing the malevolence from shattering the barriers that separated the realms. The malevolence, sensing Samuel's presence in the ethereal expanse, launched an interdimensional confrontation. Spectral tendrils lashed out, and the boundaries between realities blurred. Samuel, guided by the guardians and fueled by an unwavering resolve, confronted the malevolent force in a cosmic battle that transcended the limitations of mortal understanding. The fate of Raven's Hollow hung in the balance as the interdimensional clash unfolded. In the climactic moments of the confrontation, Samuel, with the guidance of the guardians, harnessed the ethereal energies of the dimension. He channeled the collective will of the townsfolk, whose fates were entwined with the outcome. With a surge of supernatural power, Samuel reinforced the veil between dimensions, sealing the malevolence within its ethereal prison. The spectral forces, thwarted in their resurgence, retreated into the depths of the interdimensional abyss. As Samuel emerged from the ethereal expanse, the portal sealed itself, leaving the manor's forgotten chamber in silent repose. Raven's Hollow, spared from the malevolence's resurgence, underwent a subtle transformation. The town's reality reconfigured itself, and the echoes of the supernatural struggles that had defined its history became distant whispers carried away by the wind. The townsfolk, unaware of the interdimensional confrontation, continued their lives, blissfully ignorant of the cosmic forces that had shaped their town.